Hello everyone, welcome back to this world of ghostly wonders. Little Fish always feels DJ Karen's sign view opening doors, like playing the infinite loop of those. Even though she keeps searching, it's like her thoughts are doodling the same weird ideas over and over again. These chaotic thoughts keep swirling in her mind. It's like playing a psychological game without knowing how to exit. After looping around 6 more times, the door still has moved. Little Fish is totally confused, thinking, is the elevator broken or do I need to get a GPS? With no alternative, Little Fish hastily retreats up the stairs in despair, only to encounter relentless pursuit by the monster. Terrified as if she had just glimpsed a greedy little kitten, she sprints back to her room with all her might. The next day, Little Fish unwraps her bandage and finds the wound gone like magic. She decides to hire a detective. The detective informs her that the puppet at her house is named Annabelle, once used as a cheat code by a cult lacking any special powers but definitely plays a role. One day, it got possessed by an evil spirit, and Annabelle turned extraordinary, but that spirit's ambition isn't simply it wanted to be the top dog. Little Fish fears and baseless, since Annabelle indeed carries some evil presence. She's basically the main character. This presence is slowly invading her life and even trying to hijack her body for a rebirth. Talk about sneaky like a thief. She decided to hit up the biggest library in town for some luck, but serendipitously met a neighbor and they hit it off like 2 peas in a pod. If her daughter hadn't passed away, she'd probably be around Little Fish age now. Turns out the neighbor isn't a bad guy, just a bit lonely. After hearing about Little Fish's ordeal, the neighbor decided to stick by her side every day. That night, Little Fish finally spotted clues in an ancient book. The book's illustrations resembled that night's events. As Little Fish lulled her daughter, lullabies floated from the nursery, sparking her curiosity. Unexpectedly, the door suddenly slammed shut tightly, causing Little Fish to be terrified as if she had seen the scariest monster on Halloween. Jam was left all alone in the living room, and soon her frightened cries were overheard by Armu, who had just returned home. Armu immediately called in a priest. After listening to Little Fish's recent tales, he suggested she take a little nap because, hey, the priest must be tired too. He waited for Little Fish at his home to ease her mind, but soon Armu caught her calls again after finishing work. After hearing Little Fish's account, Armu rushed home, thinking, this doesn't bode well. They'll take you out right now, the priest declared firmly. After hearing about Little Fish's situation, he was absolutely convinced. He firmly believed all this trouble was caused by that puppet, Annabelle, who came after Little Fish's daughter, wanting to reclaim her body. Hearing this, Little Fish went pale. After all, her daughter was more precious than her life. The priest's next words comforted Little Fish a bit, saying that souls need to be willingly sacrificed to the evil spirit to claim a host body. Clearly, the baby wouldn't volunteer for a sacrifice. But to soothe Little Fish's anxiety, the priest suggested taking the puppet back to the church. It might just do the trick. But unfortunately, immediately after the priest returned to the church, he discovered something slightly unusual the very next morning. Oh dear, is it really my day for bad luck? Armu saw a group of nuns outside the ward and it clicked in her mind. She guarded the priest silently. When the priest woke up, his first words were, "Where's that puppet?" And it completely bewildered Armu. Didn't he just take it? But then the priest said something that shocked Armu, leaving her flabbergasted. He stated that he saw the evil spirit Little Fish mentioned, sensing just how much it wanted to take over her daughter's body. Armu thought, my daughter wouldn't sacrifice herself. But the priest confirmed, babies don't volunteer their souls. Oh my gosh, could Little Fish be the one? This truly spooked Armu, and she hurried to call Little Fish. She urged her to take her daughter downstairs. However, Little Fish just heard static, unable to understand him. Just then, a sudden, frantic knocking came at the door. Little Fish peeked outside and saw the priest's silhouette. Father, my divine lord, the soul of resurrection, I have indeed arrived. Who is it? In an instant, Black Sister realized that something was off. She stressed they had to leave immediately, but how could Little Fish abandon her daughter? She dashed into the nursery and found her daughter missing. Terrified, Little Fish froze, while Black Sister urged her to hurry, knowing Armu couldn't control the baby and would use her daughter against Little Fish. Perhaps Armu also believed that Black Sister knew excessive information, prompting him to physically eject her from the door. This action completely plunged Little Fish into despair, causing her to angrily exclaim, "What is it that you truly desire?" Surprisingly, a pencil rolled out from the nursery, and Little Fish cautiously approached it. But she discovered the ceiling was filled with "Sacrifice your soul," and there was Armu lying on the crib. Little Fish frantically yanked Armu off the crib as if conducting an urgent rescue mission. Suddenly, to her surprise, a figure of her daughter appeared beneath the bathroom door. She dashes over and hugs her daughter tightly, but when she turns around, the little girl has magically transformed into a lamb. It's a truly bizarre and hilariously heart-wrenching sight. The window reading sacrifices all opened automatically, vibrant lights flashing, and she realized that the spirit wanted her to willingly give her soul to get her daughter back. Just at this perilous and critical moment, Amu finally arrived in the nick of time and yanked little fish away just as she was about to turn and plunge into danger, causing Black Sister, who had been confused, to suddenly comprehend everything. It turns out that when her daughter had the accident, she was the sole survivor, possibly destined for this day. As they were both engrossed and unable to spare a thought for anything else, Black Sister resolutely held the puppet and stepped onto the window ledge, embodying the greatness of motherhood, yet also bearing the profound regret of being unable to save her own daughter. At the story's conclusion, the camera slowly sweeps over the glass case, revealing Annabelle still wearing that eerie smile, as if she's waiting for her next prey. This scene sends shivers down one's spine, indicating that Annabelle's terror has truly ended. She will always bide her time for another rebirth, leaving the audience pondering. Even if this horror tale has wrapped up, who can truly guarantee that Annabelle will remain trapped in that glass case forever? Either way, don't forget to subscribe.